Welcome back to day 2 of, part 2 of playthrough of this War of Mine, but it is day 2 as well. So remember, as we left it, we've got no food. Apart from that, we're all right. So first thing we do is we go to the events card, and we add 3 to the coal space. We actually don't, because there are only 6 tokens in total, so that's the way I look at it. That's as cold as it can get. So we need to try and do something about that. Army deals. Place this card on the findings pile. If any card is already there, which there isn't, remove that card from the game. The value of cigarettes, moonshine, 100% alcohol and jewellery is raised by 5. That's for trades. So we just leave that there. I'll put it sideways on just so you can. Okay, so we are now starting with our actions, and I think, let's just turn there, you can see Katya only has 1 action. Marco and Amelia have 2. So Katya's in a bad way. I wanted her to sleep, but she can't, so I think that sort of tells what one of the actions is going to be. I want somebody to build a bed, which is 3 components and 4 wood. I don't really know, I think I'll have Katya doing that, because she can't sleep. We're going to have Amelia, she can get to the furniture, so. Now the other one, now the heater. Let's try and get rid of some of those coal tokens. The problem is, because we've got 6, they're going to keep reappearing, so are we? Am I banging my head against a brick wall with that? Well, let's give it a go. So I'm going to put in there. So let's resolve Marco. So he's lit a fire. He's going to get rid of... I'm going to get rid of the only use... Well, now there is some spirit uses for a book, but book and 1 wood. So we discard them, which means we can discard 1 cold token. And I'm probably going to do that again, because otherwise I feel as though I could still be banging my head against the wall because the number 1 jam. But so that's his action. Katya's 1 action. She's going to build that bed, which unfortunately she can't use. So it's 3 components and 4 wood. So there's 5 wood there, so I'm taking that out of there and put that in there, if that makes sense. So there was 5, there's now 1. And 3 components. So we built the bed. Where should we put it? Put it next to the heater. Now, don't read too much into that. That does not matter. It's next to the heater. That's just that's for flavour. It doesn't make any difference. Okay, so as you can see, we would have been able to take a nap and we could have lowered her fatigue down by 2. I'm going to do that tonight, which again, not ideal, but that's what we're going to do. So finally for this one, Amelia, oh, now we've got some meds, so that's, we can heal somebody. Herbal meds and a herb. 2 mechanical parts. We've got all the mechanical parts in play, because I think you only have 3. Oh, it isn't it? It's 1 mechanical part. I'm just getting that mixed up. 1 mechanical, 2 water, 1 wood. So we're in a good place with water. 1 wood. Now remember, on this, anytime we can discard meds, if we get up to 3, we get a reward. Now, what I will say is, I tend not to do that until I know I'm going to be able to achieve the objective. Because say you put 2 in early on and you don't make it up to 3, you've still failed. So you've basically given away a bandage or meds but you've still failed and still get the penalty. So whether you've done none or you've done 2, you've still failed, and that's it. So the only time I put them on there in general is when I've done it. Now, on the downside is if there's a night raid, you can have amassed some ready there to put in, and they can get pinched. So there's a downside to that. So that's that one, and then as I remove that from the game. So these two have got one more go each. So I'm toying with the idea of trying an outside action with the visitor, because it can get you another character, because we're now up to 4 characters, but 4 characters means 4 mouths to feed as well, so it's harder. So you get more actions, but you... Oh, sorry, just knocking the whole thing off there. Put that back. I'm surprised that's the first time I've ever done that. I've always thought I'd do that. So I'm not doing that yet. I need to try that on a playthrough actually, and go for 4 characters early on and see how that affects the dynamics. Now we've got 4 components, we've got 4 wood. Is there anything else? You see a workshop. Couldn't quite do that. Then you can make the board ups, which would be useful. Rainwater collector. We've got a lot of water at the minute, so we don't really need that. I think a workshop is probably... And you've got a deadfall trap. Crude stove. I think workshop will be the next one, but not this to account. We haven't got the thing for it this time. So I'm going, so we mark out, I'm going to, I do think as well, have I missed out some fatigue on these guys? I have. Fatigue, I didn't add them on yesterday. Guard duty, scavenging, they should have had 1 fatigue added each of them, so I'm going to do that now. So these go up to 1 fatigue, she's on to 3 rather than 2. Okay, so that's his action is going to be to light fire, get rid of another cold token. Her action is to do we try and start getting rid of the rubble? All that rubble at the time. I'm going to get rid of that rubble. Can't get down to there yet. And that one, as remember we've talked about the hole, it only clears just to get to there. And we have to clear another one together. But that's what we're going to do. So she goes there. We'll do it straight away with the shovel, and we turn that over, so we're halfway through the rubble. So that's her second turn. His heater, 2 wood, gets rid of 1 cold token. So we're down to 4 cold. And that, no, it's not the end, because we've got that night owl, which is great. So I've got another 2 goes to have, and it doesn't really matter because Marco and Amelia both get 2 turns to act 2 actions. So I've got 2 more actions, so I'm going to use, let's use Amelia. So I'm going to use 2 more wood to get rid of another cold token. So I've got rid of 3. We're out of wood now, so the last one I'm going to do, I'm going to get the shovel onto there, and we've got rid of that. So we remove that. So next turn we can have somebody in there. And that card is discarded. Narrative actions always go once you've used them. Okay, right. So the action's done, so it's dusk. Each character drinks 1 water, just to keep them status quo. So no benefit other than we don't have to roll to either raise the hunger or misery by 1. So we take 3 water, still enough left for tomorrow. Now hunger. Each character should eat 1 or more food. We've got none. No food, raise their hunger by 1. So, well, every one of them goes up to 2 hunger. So we really need some food in this scavenging phase. And this is where the problems are, because Katya's fatigue 3. So her action is going to be sleep on a bed, which sets her fatigue to 0. So Katya on the bed. That does say lower the fatigue of the character by 2. That's if they take a nap as one of their actions. This is sleeping overnight. So her fatigue has gone. Unfortunately, I'm going to have Marco scavenging, well, because of his inventory of 5. Amelia's going to be guarding again. So their fatigues, both of theirs go up by 1. I'll not forget this time. Marco's yellow. Catches there, so we are now onto the scavenging phase. Got no weapons that he can take with him. Am I going to take the shovel? This one, just because Special Finder's got the one that's got raw food and I get more exploration cards, I'm going to take that. There is rubble there and a jammed door. So I'm going to take the lockpick and the shovel. Lockpick doesn't weigh anything, remember. Not for the purpose of the game. Do I take the shovel? I'm not going to take the shovel because I'm only going to be carrying 5, so I'm going to hope I don't regret that, because if I get rubble, I can't open it. But anyway, but we need food, so 14. And as you saw before, we get 14 because of that. It's the newest one. I'm not taking anything with me. We've got that trade option. I'm not going to exchange 2 either to go through the script. I could get the same one. Yeah, we'll just start. I can do that anytime, I believe. Yeah, done something about it at the start. Okay, so first card. You may ignore this card or poke about. Ooh, return 1 exploration card or roll for the nose. So I'm going to return an exploration card to do this, because I've got 14, and so that means there's more likely the noise going up as we go along. So choose 1 finding from the special findings chart for this location. Well, we know special findings is down here. So if we can roll an 8 or a 9, we get some raw food. A 10 is a knife, which would be good to get a weapon as well. A 1, that was nearly a 9. So 1 is nothing. Damn. Someone's here. Raise the noise by 3. That's not good so early on. So, door. Peek through the keyhole. Return 1 exploration card to look at the next card from the unknown deck. Or enter, start putting them up there so you can see, or enter, raise the noise by 1, or roll for the noise. Well, I'm going to return a card because we're already on 4. Ah, no, this is a good one. You may ignore this card or return 2 exploration cards to place it on the exploration slot and use it any time. After rolling for the noise, you may discard this card to ignore an encounter or perform a backstab. So we put it there, and I'm going to return 2, which means we can risk setting the noise off next time. So Peek through the keyhole, return 1 card, or enter, raise the noise by 1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter, I'm going to raise the noise by 1, which we don't have to roll for it, we do one or the other. Because we've got that card. Now, we didn't take a shovel. Dig through the rubble, so it's no good, we haven't got. There is rubble, because the map card says if it's got one, it is rubble, but we can't do it. Or we can search the heap. And to do that, we return to exploration cards and raise the noise by 1, or raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise. I'm going to raise the noise by 1 and I'm going to roll for it. So we're at 6. So 6 or below, it causes us to take a residence card. It's a 7, so we're all right. We don't even need to do that, which is good because we've still got that. So we now draw and resolve a card from the heap chart. No food, electrical part, filter, shell, and we roll special findings. So I've got electrical parts, filter, and shell. So not really anything particularly useful there. And when we can only carry up to a value of 5, and obviously we rolled the dice, so let's just put this one back in. So we've got a special findings roll as well, remember. Seven is a mechanical part. I'm not even going to take that out because we've got 2 down here. I'm not going to take one because it's one way. So well, I'll show you. I'll do it for the sake. We put 1 there. We're not going to take it back with us. Not good. Reality impact. Something unexpected has happened. Draw a card from the colours deck to determine the colour of the script. Then check the number with that colour on the exploration chart on this locations card and find that number in the book of scripts and resolve the text. Afterwards, place this card under the current location card. When that location card is removed from the game, shuffle the reality impact card back into the exploration deck. So first thing we do is a colour. Colour blue. And you can see here, show you on the card, 158. So that is blue, 158. So we go to the script, 158. And hope it's a good one. We don't know who lived in this villa before the war, but he must have been well off, at least it looks that way. We enter a spacious living room. There's a crystal chandelier on the ceiling and wrecked, tipped-over leather sofas on the dust-covered floor. On one of the walls we can see a long glass panel of a strange dirty green colour. We walk up towards it, but we jump in fright when some large dark shapes the size of fists hit the other side of the glass. It's an aquarium. C1444. Be food. Hopefully we can get some raw food. It hasn't been cleaned in ages. Something seems to be swimming in the thick algae-filled water. We don't think twice. The thick pane of glass withstands a few strikes, finally breaks into pieces. A stinking flood covers the room, wetting our shoes. The green slush quickly trickles between the cracks in the floor, but we see a few ill but quite big fish flopping around desperately. Some are covered in parasites, others have open wounds. All of them stink incredibly bad. It won't be a pleasant meal, but it's not like we have many other options. Raise the noise by 2, add 2 raw food to the findings pile and back to the game. So we've got 2. So let's do the noise first. So the noise is as high as it can go. But we can feed 2 people. Oh, so I'm putting it there. Sorry. Goes in there. We haven't got it back yet, have we? So that card then goes under this until the villa is discarded, and then it goes back in the findings pile. So what have we got here? I think I saw something. Return as many exploration cards as you wish and roll the black die. Add the number of the returned exploration cards to the result. Result of a 1 to 5 is draw and resolve a residence card. So how many cards? Oh, I've only got one. I'm going to risk it and hope that that is another something good to find. So we need 6 to 10 to avoid having to draw a card. A 7. All right with our rolls on this one. So we're okay. And the final one is you may not this card or hide out. Weakness, pointless. So that one we didn't actually use. The noise goes back to 1. So that is our last exploration card. We're done. So now we choose our findings. Well, I think you can guess. The raw food's coming back. Remember his inventory is 5, so that's 2 weight. That's nothing. I'm getting rid of these 3 because we've got mechanical parts. Electrical, there's nothing pressing. We've got a filter, so I'm discarding them. We've used 2. Now, as you see, normally I would use water, but we haven't got any wood here, and we want to try and get that heat down. So I'm going to use 2 wood, 1 component. A lot of these have. Do you know how many components do you need? Yeah, you need 5 components and a mechanical part and 3 wood. So for the workshop, need to get some more wood with it. So that's, oh, I've done it again. We're not back yet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weight. So not a bad haul. Now it's the night raid. So we choose a weapon. She hasn't got one. Be a decent one. Reality impact. Okay. So we draw a card from the colours deck to determine the colour of the script. Blue again. Then reveal the top card of the Night Raids deck and check the number with that colour on it. Find that number in the book of scripts and resolve the corresponding text. And afterwards you shuffle this back in. So we turn this over. So you're looking at the bottom bit, that's all blue. 5, 5, 6. Just going to shuffle blue back in here. And we want script number 556. Smoke, lots of smoke accompanied by the stench of burning rags. What bad luck, what thoughtlessness. Someone's cigarette has butt has started a fire upstairs. Let's put it out quickly or we'll all suffocate. If there is a firefighter among the characters present, the fire is put out without problems. Well, we do have Marco, but he's over there. He's out scavenging. So if there's no ex-firefighter among the characters present, roll the yellow combat die for each character on the guard space. We've only got 1. We've only got Amelia. Each character may use their prowess, so we can do a re-roll. You may wake up the sleeping characters. If we roll 4 knife icons in total, the fire is put out, although we had to put in a lot of effort to do it. If we roll 3 or less knife icons in total, pick 2 crafted fitting cards to represent what had been burned. Discard these cards and place them back in the fittings deck. We've only got 1 fitted. Oh no, we've got 2. We've got the heater and the bed. So let's roll. Oh, I'm not going to wake her up yet, so because she's got 2 dice rolls. Oh, yeah, but she hasn't, has she? You don't add them up because the prowess is a re-roll. So I'm just going to put these just both go back into the night raid. So yeah, that's a re-roll. So what we've got here, 4 knife icons in total, or 3 or less. Well, the best you can get is 3. So I'm going to roll that twice, and unless she gets a 3, I'm not but then this is where it says to use your common sense in the game sometimes. I'm going to do it as though she's been woken up anyway, because the bed will be destroyed in the fire. So I will, as it says in the thing, I will increase her fatigue by 2. But let's see where we go first. Let's see if we've got a chance of got an outside chance. So let's roll, and this is catch you. 3. So we're sticking on that. So we're now waking. Sorry, that was Amelia. I was doing that for the. We're now waking catcher. Wasn't cheating, and that was me getting mixed up with. So her fatigue, which was down to 0 if you remember, because she was sleeping. So just check the wording on this, make sure I'm right. Set the fatigue for each awakened character to 2. Yeah. So you see, it's gone down to 0. She's back up to 2. So if we can get a knife, what are the odds? 1, 2, 50-50 here. We save it. Now. So 2 fittings, 2 crafted fittings have been burned. Yeah. Well, we only have 2. So we've now got no heater and we've got no bed. This is why this game's brutal. That's the end of the night raid, other than the crime wave where we put residents or night raids in. So I'm going to put, like last time, there's only 2 more residents there. Put the last of the 2 in, which is the way I tend to do it, which makes the residents pack harder but stops some of those nasty night raids. So we've done that. And the crime wave, scavenging party returns. So he comes back saying I wish I was here because I could have put the fire out. This stuff comes back, so it's starting to become a real problem with all the things wrong with them. So we assign meds and bandages now. Let me just move this across slightly because we need this. So we've got 3 of mill and we've got 1 medicine. Now I'm gonna give it to Marco. No accusations of sexism, please. The reason is he's got the most use. I've been taking a lockpick actually. No, I ain't got actually. With the prowess and the inventory. You know, the others have got little bits of, but he's the red character, so that's why I'm sticking with him. I want him to survive above all else at the minute. So we now draw a fate card. It's the end of the day. Raise the illness of all ill characters who did not take any meds by 1. So 2. 2. Healed a wound. I'm good. Now the med thing stays on there as far as I can see, because it tells you when you discard them. As you can see on that one, discard bandages token. So that stays on there, so that may become useful. You can always see it's dropping these down to 1 action. She was on 1 action anyway, Amelia. If cold tokens minus board ups equal 5 or more, raise the illness of all characters by 1. Well, they're not. They're 4, I think. Oh, 3 now because we got rid of an extra one. Exchange the nearest medium location. If there is none, exchange the nearest large location. Small, large, small. So the central square is the large one. So get rid of that one. Slide this one down. And we've got the old town. Resolve weight tokens, we've not got any, and resolve Spirit A on all character cards. Spirit A. Coffee, we ain't got any. Coffee, we haven't got any. So those two, their misery increases. Goes up to 2. Hers goes to 3. That's not looking good at all. Marco. If any character in the group is hungry at level 3, raise Marco's misery by 1. Or not, they're all at 2. So we escape that. That goes back into the deck. So you can, I think you can probably by this point see how brutal this game is. And finally, we draw 2 narrative action cards and we choose one. Take a look at the top card from any 2 of the following decks. Events, Visitors, Residents, Night Raids. Or we can go through the sewers. Play at the end of the Night Raid phase, a chosen character on guard duty may bring additional items from the finding spell to the storage. I'm going to go with that because if we have somebody resting, even if it's sleeping on the floor tonight, because his fatigue are quite high, so in fact everybody's fatigue is high. Dear oh dear. We need to get that bed built, more important than the heater at the moment. So we keep sticking with through the sewers. We'll leave that on there. Shovel this one back in. Best mate stick, but I think you'll see somebody die in the next round. And right, I'm going to go through turn 3 now. Straight into the morning. We haven't got any moon. We can't raise anybody's. We haven't got any alcohol to raise anybody's misery. Nobody's died, so we don't have to roll for death. For somebody's reducing misery through death. We now go to the event. Be a good event. Add 1 to the cold space. Come back up to 4. Snipers. Place this card on the findings pile. If any card's always there, move that card. So that's gone. I had this before. I had this on the first turn of the game. At the beginning of the scavenging phase, roll the red combat die for each scavenger character to determine if they were hit, how many wounds they suffered. Okay, so that's for later on. So, oh God, we've got 1 turn each here. So I'm not going to be able to build anything because I haven't got enough wood. Absolute disaster. 1 turn apiece. Heap. Poke about. So we're going to try and get some more compounds as well. That'll hopefully give us something. And what else do I go outside? But again, we haven't got much food, have we? We've got 2 food. Let's go outside. Because the only other thing I can do is either pick the lock or clear that rubble. This is looking like been my worst game yet, believe me. The first thing we do is, well, let's do these first. So, heap. Let's do the heap. 5 components, 3 wood. So that's a good haul. So put the components there. 3 wood. So that's that, and that's discarded. Poke about, so we roll. It's a 2. So 1 wood or component. Oh, sorry, I put the wood there. I'm going to go for 1 more wood. So that's that. So we've just got this one. So the first one, rolled a black die, and if a 1 is rolled, the character is hit by a sniper and suffers 2 wounds. So we don't want a 1. 3. So we're all right. So we draw and resolve 1 visitor card. If the number of characters in the group is 2 or less, search the visitor's deck for the first arrival card and resolve it. So it is an arrival card. A wounded stranger asks for shelter. If you decide to take this person in, draw a card from the unused characters deck and place them, add them to your group. Place a level 2 wounds and a level 1 hunger token on them. Add a pistol and 1 ammo to the storage, then remove this arrival card from the game. If you decide not to take this person in, you may buy any items this person is carrying. Well, the pistol costs quite a bit, so I don't think it would cost 16. Would struggle to trade for it. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we could just about, but we give everything up, and I think we could do with a 4th character to try and prolong the game a little bit. So we've got the pistol. And we've got the ammo, so we're finally equipped. But every time you shoot, it uses an ammo, and we've only got 1 ammo. So yeah, move that back now. Okay, so we're now going to draw a card to see which character we've got. So we've got the one I can't pronounce, Savetta, and I may be pronouncing that wrong. I'm not sure at all, but I'm going to call her Savetta, and my apologies if that is wrong. So let's turn in on here. I need to do a bit of juggling now with these. So catches there. Amelia's there. Savetta. She doesn't have any special ability. Her empathy's very high, which again is, is a bad thing, and her inventory is low. So she's, apart from having the pistol, she's a bit useless. And her hunger's 1. So hunger 1, wounds 2. And what we do is find her. Also, 4 is the maximum we can have as well, so we can't go and get another character unless one of these dies. So put the orange bit on there, and as you can see, another brilliant bit of painting there. As you can tell, I'm very proud of my painting. So we've now got a 4th character. Shuffle this card back into the visitor's deck. Day actions, be quick and they're done. I do want to check one thing, whether more than 1 person can sleep on the floor, because we've got 3 that are fatigue 2. So just bear with me, I'm just going to double check this. Yeah, I can, if I had a bed, I could only put 1 in the bed, but as many as I want can sleep on the floor, which reduces fatigue by 2. So I'm probably going to do that. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do here is Katya and Amelia yeah, I know what I'm going to do here. Katya and Amelia, so green and blue, they're going to sleep on the floor, lower the fatigue by 2, so both of their fatigues go down to 0. I'm going to guard with Marco, so he's not going out scavenging, even though his inventory is the best. Savetta, who's a bit rubbish, is going out on her own. Now, I'm not necessarily leaving her to the snipers. Not because of that. It's because of this card here. The character on guard duty can go to get the additional items, so his inventory can be added to hers. So we've got a total of 7, and he's got 2 prowess, so he can have 2 rerolls with the pistol. So this night raid, I think we're going to be all right. But their fatigues both increase by 1. So Marco goes up to 3 fatigue, so he's going to have to rest after this, and Sylvester's 1. Yeah, and that's the best way to play it. What I have done, I've jumped again. I've missed off the dust phase of water, food. We've got 3 water. So I'm going to have Savetta as the one who hasn't had any water. Rolled a 7. And a 6 to 10 means raise the misery by 1. Well, her misery is 0 at the minute. So that goes up to 1. I'll just put the 1 counter misery on there. Because Catchy, you see, and their misery is climbing, so I want to try and avoid that. But I want to keep Marco in as good condition as possible because of his uses. Now, food's an issue. We've got 2 food. I'm going to give that to Amelia. Get a look up here. So the 2 raw food. Amelia and Marco having the raw food, so her hunger drops to 1. His drops to 1, because if you have these 2, because they haven't eaten theirs, are going to increase. So it's better because she was only 1. That's the reason I didn't feed her. And Katya could give you a load of bump for that reasons, but the truth is she's nearly dead. I don't think I'm going to be able to save her, so I don't want to waste food. It's the harsh reality of the game. I don't want to waste food if she's going to die, which I think she probably is. Hopefully not. So, okay. Increase fatigue. We're on to Scavenger. The first thing we've got to resolve is this card here. So, we rolled this dice, and you can see it's got crosshairs on it. They're not crosshairs, they're for something different. So it's these 1, 2 or 3. Hopefully 0, but whatever we hit, actually this could be a nightmare because her wounds are 2. So if we do roll 2 or 3 crosshairs, she's dead and nobody's going scavenging. Could be a real problem, that. No, we dropped lucky. But that card stays there. It's only removed if a character is hit. So that'll keep coming up. Which location do we want? Do we go back to the Ruin Villa? Definitely swat the old town. Actually, the old town, special finding 8 to 10. We get a vegetable, not as good as raw food. Do we go to the Ruin Villa yet again? Yes, we do, because we get 14 cards. So 14 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. So that in the unknown deck. Is she taking anything? Sorry, and got 7 inventory, haven't we? So let's take the shovel because it cost us last time by not having the shovel. If you remember, we couldn't explore the rubble. So let's go through hiding place. So that, as we had that before, we can use that to ignore an encounter so we don't draw a resonance card. So we'll put that there. It's going to cost us 2 exploration cards, but it's worth it. Stairs down, look for another way, or raise the noise by 3 and roll for the noise. Ooh. That's a tricky one. Roll the noise, but I don't want to use that straight away, but no, we're going we're going to raise the noise. If it goes up to 4, we're going to roll the dice. So if it's 4 or below, it is. That's reset to 1, but we're going to use that card. That's discarded, so she's hidden. Just to keep that for longer. But we search the heap. Return 2 exploration cards and raise the noise by 1, or raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise. Oh, I'm going to return the cards. I'm going to be a coward. So raise 2. Finding card in the heap. Broken guitar, a shell, and a special findings. Not great. Broken guitar. Don't you know if I've got any more shells left? Not sure how many you get. I think we've used all the shells. There's the broken guitar. I'll do as I said. Let's just, because we've got 2 shells down here, and I'm thinking, is there only 2 in the game? This is damaged. 3 shells, so there should be a shell. Bear with me while I search. There was indeed another shell. And we roll. This is where we want an 8 or a 9. 6. Another bloody mechanical part. So that's back in the findings. I'm just wondering whether to try and trade. What have we got there? 3. No, I've only got 6 value. The vegetable is value 5, 10 for raw food. So we need 10 to. Let's see how we go. Search the heap. Don't know if I increase that noise there. I do rush too much sometimes. Yes, I did. Didn't increase it. Return 2 explanation cards and raise the noise by 1. I'm going to do the same again here. So return another 2. Raise the noise by 1. And search a heap. Now at the very least I'm hoping to get enough to trade with them. Don't even know if they're going to trade for food though, do we? So the heap. Broken pistol. Ammo. Useful. And a special findings die. Broken pistol, not a lot good at the minute because we've got a pistol. So, ammo, broken pistol, that's worth 5 and they're worth 3. So do we trade and get a couple of vegetables? But we don't know they can have vegetables, do we? Oh, we've got special die as well. Special findings. 2, nothing. I'm going to trade. I'm going to use this trade 1630. Let's go back to that. Because we've got 8, 19, 11, 12. We've got 14. I mean, we could technically trade the shovel. It's 20, but we need the shovel, don't we? So 14. 1630 to trade. During a visit to the villa, you may return 2 exploration cards to trade with occupant. See 1005. So hopefully we've got 2. Yeah, we've got 2. We just need to hope, because it'll tell us what we can trade, you see. We need to hope on 1005 it says food, because otherwise I've wasted it. The people holed up in this place are open and eager to trade. You may buy any grey, green and yellow tokens here. Trade commission is 2. So I've got to pay 2 value of 2 and then trade. So green is our food. So I could get 1 raw food because they're worth 1. But I'm going to go for 2 vegetables with 5. least feed 2 of them. So, okay. Grey, green and yellow tokens. So let's pay the trade commission of 2. So just double checking, I was thinking it was 3, but it's 2. And if I said 3. So we get rid of that. So straight away, just to trade, we've got rid of that. Then, unfortunately, we're going to have to use the ammo. It's a shame we couldn't take the ammo back, but it's more important to get food. So just the mechanical part. Hang on, let me just work this out. Basically, it's 12. It's value of 12 we need to get to. Just seeing if I can keep anything. 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. So I don't need that mechanical part, so I'll just leave. I'm actually going to pay 1 over the odds. Oh, is there anything worth 1 value? Let me just have a look in the... Coffee is worth 1. And as you remember, we've been hit with coffee. Not literally. Twice misery has gone down because they haven't had coffee, so we're going to take value of 11. So in fact, we could then use that shell and get another coffee because we've got Katya and Amelia are both coffee addicts. So yeah, we've got that. And the beauty here as well is none of those have got any weight. So the only weight we've got is 1 at the moment. So we've used the trade. Look for another way. Return 3 exploration cards. We haven't got 3. Or climb. Roll the grey combat die for each scavenging character to determine how many wounds they suffered during the climb. Well, I'm going to risk it. So she's going to climb the dodgy stairs. Or climb up wherever she's climbing. And we want no melee combat signs. And we're alright. So she climbed up. And the last card. There are no bars. Check the current location for bars. If there are no bars, discard this card and draw a new card from the exploration deck. Well, there are no bars on that one. This is obviously bars of a window. Well, bars like that, not a pub. So we get another card. Reality impacts. We've got the reality one. So we draw a card from the colours deck. Then draw a card from the exploration deck and match it up. Sometimes it's exploration deck and sometimes it's down here. So the colour is green. So let's mix that back in. And what number are we going for? 147. The last card as well, so this is scavenging over after this. We've discovered a small door that's carefully hidden behind a pile of rubble. Seems to lead into a basement. We've uncovered it and learned it was firmly boarded up. On the wall next to the door, someone has painted the word danger. People will try all sorts of tricks to protect their possessions, but what if the one is genuine? So we can check it out. Return 1 explanation. We can't because we haven't got any explanation cards left, so we can't do that. So we ignore the door. Someone went to a lot of trouble to keeping us from going in there. Why risk it back to the game? So we're going to have to go back to the game. And in fairness, my cowardly nature will come out. And I think I probably would have gone back to the game anyway because I've got some good stuff there. She's already got 2 wounds. If she dies, this stuff doesn't come back. So I think that's what I would have done. So, yeah, so that's the end of the scavenging phase. Where are we at? Up to nearly an hour. So I'll try and quickly get the day over with. So choose what she wants. We've got no water left here. And we've got 4 of us now. So we've only got 1 weight, and we've got him to come back, remember, as well. Unless he gets killed. 5 and 2, so we've got 7. So I'm going to go with 4. 4 water, and 2 wood. Plus the shovel, that makes us the 7. Okay. So that's what we're bringing back. So it's quite a good haul, that, actually. Night Raid. We've already chosen a weapon for him. Starving People. So they're going to take any 4 tokens of resources, starting with the green tokens. We ain't got any green tokens because that's out. And 1 wound. So we're going to take some damage. But I'm going to use his ammo. So we're going to shoot at them. So it's this red one. That means the card's discarded. So that's what we want. His prowess is 2, Marco. So we can do 2 rerolls. But once we've re-rolled, we can't pick out the best out of the 3. Once we've re-rolled, the previous one is cancelled. Ah, we don't need to. Card's gone. Afterwards, shuffle this card back into the Night Raid. So the Night Raid, we sorted it. But we've now got to add 2. All the Resistance cards are added now, so we'll put 2 more into the Night Raid. Don't forget, we can see chapter 2's coming up and we haven't got anywhere near these meds. So everybody's illness is going to increase by 1 as well, which is a bit of a disaster. So I think once you get to illness 3, which we might end up with 2 on, they don't know whether they get any actions. So, Night Raid done. They've slept. Pistol back, so we're alright, we've got no ammo. She's coming back. Plenty of wood. Enough water for the day. Got some coffee to cope with stuff if they need it. We've got a couple of bits of food, not enough, but nothing, and the shovel's coming back as well. So we've got quite a bit of stuff there. Discard the narrative action card. And we're at the end of the day. So we sign meds and bandages, we ain't got any, and we draw a fate card. So what have we got? Raise the wounds of all wounded unbandaged characters by 1. Savetta is unbandaged, so her wounds are now at 3, which means she cannot take any actions. Now this is an interesting one, because she can't take any actions. Can she do things out at night? There's nothing in the rules that I can see that says she can't. I take it that she has to rest up and preserve strength, and then she has enough to go out, but she doesn't have enough to go about doing things around the house. So lower the illness for all characters who took meds by 2 and discard the meds token. Well, his illness is only 1, so that goes, and the meds token goes. You're looking at those where illness was 2, but I don't think there were when I put the meds in with him, so it was a couple of turns ago. If cold tokens minus board equal 5 or more, raise the illness of all characters by 1. We're on 4, so we're just alright with that. Exchange the nearest small location, so this ruined villa goes. That goes back into the exploration deck. The derelict squat's now the nearest. Got the old town and the warehouse. Resolve weight tokens, we haven't got any. Resolve spirit A on all character cards. So A. We know for Katia and Amelia it's coffee, so we discard 1 coffee. So the coffee's gone, so that was useful. Marco, if any character in the group is hungry, level 3, raise Marco's misery by 1. Her hunger is 3. So Marco is very sad about that. And Savetta, if any character in the group is hungry, level 3, raise her misery by 1 as well, so that's the same, and that brings her misery up to 2. So we're not in great shape here, are we? Fate, that was all the fate done. Narrative actions. Two narrative action cards. Headshot. Play during any combat or during your backstab. If you're using a firearm, discard 1 ammo to automatically kill 1 enemy. Or play during the night raid phase. If the character on gadget has a firearm, discard 1 ammo to automatically ignore 1 night raid. So it's a good card. We ain't got any ammo at the minute. Dead on. Play during any combat if you're wielding a hatchet. Automatic kill 1 ammo. Play during the night raid phase. If he has a hatchet, excuse me, automatically ignore 1 night. Well, so we can't use any of them immediately, but it just says during any combat or the night raid phase. So we don't need to use them this turn. So I'm going to put it there. Hopefully not forget about it. So it's the firearm one I'm going to use because we haven't got a hatchet, and although we haven't got any ammo, we have got a pistol, so we're close. It's easy to get ammo. If anybody died, we raised the misery by 2. Nobody did. We haven't got any alcohol, which we could have done with to try and increase. So it's not looking good. You know, we've got wounds 3, misery 3, hunger 3, fatigue 3. He's going to have to sleep. Marco, which is unfortunate tonight. She can't even take Sveta can't even take any actions in this next turn. So we're in a mess. We've got stuff, so we can try and rebuild some of the things that we've lost. We've got some water. We've got a little bit of food. Oh yeah, chapter 2 starting. We're going to gain illnesses at the start as well. But anyway, we'll see how we get. Thank you for tuning in. I will just over an hour on this one. I'll try and get quicker because you know I do waffle, but I'll try to speed up a little bit. And I will see you in the next episode.